never changes.
Hi, I'm Jesse Yip, the video game correspondent with the A2D.
And I'm Matt Benoit, editor of the A2D website.
And we're here to talk to you about Fallout New Vegas and give you our review of it. So, Fallout New Vegas. If you hated Fallout 3, you're probably going to end up hating Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, they basically stuck to the old motto, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and they really hammered that in with New Vegas.
Yeah, the combat is exactly the same. You use the same VATS targeting system, which allows you to target specific body parts, pull off really cool headshots, blow people's arms off. I enjoyed it. A lot of first-person shooter fans didn't really like that. However, this time around with Vegas, they did improve the gunplay in that you can actually aim down iron sights of the guns, similar to like Call of Duty, which is pretty cool. It definitely improves combat a lot.
The thing, though, it's an RPG first and a first-person shooter second. It's not going to attract the hardcore first-person shooter crowd, such as Halo fans or Call of Duty fans, but it's definitely going to find a good middle ground with each group of individual players.
But definitely, it's a really great RPG title. Bethesda gave it to Obsidian Software, who made me a little nervous because they ruined Knights of the Old Republic so bad. And
they also
Alpha Protocol
was that game was
the worst game ever.
Not really, but it had a great idea, but we're not here to talk about that.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about that. But anyways, New Vegas. It's Fallout 3, for those of you who didn't play it. It's post-apocalyptic world. China and the U.S. had a nuclear war, and now everywhere is a wasteland in the U.S. Fallout 3 took place in the capital wasteland. New Vegas takes it to, obviously, Las Vegas.
In the Mojave Desert.
It is definitely a way cooler setting. And like we said before, gameplay exactly the same as Fallout 3. Also, you get tossed into the world, and it's a huge open world.
Yeah. Like, when we say huge, we mean this is probably the biggest map you ever play on, and the fact that you can only walk places makes it a little bit more difficult to travel. They do include the fast travel program like they did in Fallout 3, but you are going to lose time with that, so if you're trying to get time-specific missions done, it's better to, I don't know.
Run.
Yeah.
But anyways, they added a ton of new guns, and what's also great about New Vegas, which I think is actually a big improvement over Fallout 3, is that they actually added a lot more factions, because in Fallout 3, you really had the choice of going with two factions.
Yeah, you had the
Brotherhood of Steel.
And then in this one, you got the Grannies, you get the Kings, you get Caesar's Legion, you get NCR.
And what's really great is, whereas in Fallout New Vegas, you could do things for the Enclave and the Brotherhood of Steel, and it really didn't affect too much.
Your alliance with each one, so to speak.
Yeah, but in this one, if you help Caesar's Legion, the Northern California Republic is going to hate you. If you help Mr. House, both the Northern California and the Republic and Caesar's Legion will hate you. It's things like that, which I think is a really great improvement.
Yeah.
It's something that Oblivion and Morrowind kind of had, that they lost with Fallout 3.
But the only thing that bugs me about this game is that some things do seem out of place. Like you said, with new guns, they added new abilities like aiming down iron sights. The only thing that bothers me is that most of the guns are way too out of place for their time. Like the 9mm pistol that I've achieved or I've gotten seems way too new. It seems shiny and plasticky.
Yeah, I mean, but that's something that you're just gonna probably have to happen anyways. But yeah. Presentation-wise, the graphics haven't been improved from Fallout 3, which is kind of a little bit of a letdown. You would have thought they would have boosted it a bit. However, I will say, New Vegas at night, the strip looks fantastic.
Oh, I can only imagine.
They definitely went all out on that. Voice acting-wise, they actually did recruit a lot of star power for this.
There's Wayne Newton's gonna stick out the most as he hosts Mr. New Vegas's radio show. Other notable cast members are going to be Felicia Day from the Guild,
Zachary Levi from Chuck, and Michael Hogan from Battlestar Galactica makes a brief appearance as well. But yeah, the lip syncing I will say at times also gets a little off, but gameplay wise, New Vegas is really fantastic.
Yeah, it's one of those games where each character will have its own individual voice, but so you're not going to end up like other role-playing games where it just seems like, oh, here's some text and you're gonna read it. Here's a fully voiced NPC character, and you can actually have a conversation with them.
Yeah, it's really great in that regard. It's definitely got some wacky sequences in it too, and very memorable ones. Like most memorable for me is sending ghouls in space.
Yeah,
that was cool.
I liked finding the Ghoul cults.
There are sex robots in it. For those of you machine fetishists out there, which I'm pretty sure is none of you listening right now. But
they do have ghouls that act like cowboys.
Yep, they ghouls that act like cowboys. There's a lot of they definitely gotta bring that Vegas vibe to it.
Yeah, where everything just seems sort of like uncanny and out of place.
Larger than life kind of.
They do a real good job at replicating a modern day Vegas Strip. You can tell most of the hotels apart from each other.
Yeah, they all have a different theme.
Yeah.
Gamora's kind of like the sex, underground-ish kind of casino, whereas Tops is like high roller broskies, and then you have Ultra Lux, which is like hoity-toity people wearing masks from BioShock.
Yeah, it's a pretty weird place, but so is Vegas in real life, so it seems sort of to fit the setting.
Yeah. There are some technical issues. There are frame rate drops. I've had to reload a couple times because Quest scripts haven't worked out as right, but they've been fairly minimal. And they've already started patching it. There was an update last night.
Yep. I've only had a few minor graphical issues with enemies being born like into the ground. I've also seen places not fully rendered with textures, but if you can get by that, then you can experience a really good game here.
I will say the biggest letdown of Fallout New Vegas is that once you complete the main storyline, like in Fallout 3 initially, the game ends and you can't continue your file.
No.
Now, I'm sure Obsidian and Bethesda will release a DLC patch or a DLC content pack that will extend your game.
The only downside about that is you can tell that they did that on purpose, just to try and make a little bit more money.
Yeah, because Brotherhood of Steel, the expansion pack.
Oh no, it's Broken Steel.
Broken Steel. That expanded Fallout 3 definitely was very popular, and I'm sure that they can do the same thing. But other than that, I give New Vegas 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
I would say definitely go ahead and get it. It is worth your money.
I would definitely give it about the same rating.
There is well over 100 hours of gameplay. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I've only really, I'm about, 15 hours in, and I still feel like I've only scratched the surface.
Yeah, I'm only like 2 or 3 gameplay hours in, but I'm also running around doing side quests, just trying to get a more feel for the Mojave Wasteland.
So anyways, 8.5 out of 10. Buy it for the $60. Definitely worth your money. And keep checking the A2D for all your updates and news. And this has been Jesse Yip.
And Matt Benoit.
And you've been A2D'd.